What if I was to tell you that there is 4 things that you are currently doing right now that is impacting you building your self-confidence? Well, luckily for you guys, I'm going to be discussing with you today 4 things that are actually negatively impacting your self-confidence. Right, and the first thing on that list is being a people pleaser. So, what is problem with being a people pleaser, you might ask? Well, it might sound good, yeah? You're actually making people happy. And if you make other people happy, they will like you back, yeah? Wrong. The problem is, if you're a people pleaser, you're making other people happy and you're not making the most important person in your life happy as a result. And that person is yourself. When you're living for other people, people will not respect you. And as time goes on and you continue to do favours, you go out of your way, even if you're not comfortable with it and you still do it, people will naturally lose respect for you. And that is why this is one of the main things that is impacting building your self-confidence. The second thing is fear of rejection. The problem is, one of the reasons why we are a people pleaser is fear of rejection, which is the second one. And a lot of people suffer from this. A lot of us. And that's not being honest with ourselves and other people, because the main reason is we fear that people will reject us, not like us, and cause us uncomfortable situations. And you're right. If you're thinking that, yes, they might reject us, they might reject you, they might cause uncomfortable situations in the short term. But if you get rid of that fear of self-rejection, you don't care what other people think about you. If you disagree with something, you say it, because at the end of the day, if you fear being rejected, you will always feel unhappy and you will not feel confident in yourself. The next thing I would say is you don't set personal boundaries. That is another big thing. And all of these kind of points that I'm listing do sort of link in with each other. But one of the main things is, as well, you don't set personal boundaries. You let other people, such as colleagues, friends, family, and potential love interests, you let them walk over you. And you, for example, agree with whatever they say just to keep the peace, because you don't want any drama. You don't want that uncomfortable situations. But this is bad, because if you don't set personal boundaries for yourself, if you don't stand up for yourself, you don't let other people know that they can't cross this boundary, you will invite lots and lots of disrespect, and people will keep crossing that line until you finally stand up for yourself and you tell them, as a man or as anyone, that I'm not standing for this. It takes time, I think, because from personal experience, myself, when I was growing up, I was always taught to be nice, be kind and be respectful, and not try and be rude. And this sort of bad programming affected me when I was growing up, and I same didn't have any personal boundaries. And a lot of people try to take advantage of me, and this is a bad thing, because not only will they be crossing your boundaries and doing things you don't like, but this same will make you feel bad in yourself and make you lack confidence. another thing I would say as well about personal boundaries is, have you ever heard before someone say, oh, you be the bigger person? Don't say anything, just be the bigger person. But although that is in its own way good to be the bigger person, but a lot of the time when you're the bigger person, you just don't say anything. If someone gives you disrespect, they say something about you, and you just say to yourself, look, I'm not going to say anything back because I'm going to be the bigger person. This is wrong, because with you not standing up for yourself, you not speaking up, you're basically inviting them to disrespect you even more. And trust me, it won't get any better. And this is one of the major things in setting personal boundaries. And yeah, you can be the bigger person. If someone does something to you, you don't have to react, but for example, it doesn't mean that you can't speak up for yourself respectfully, which I encourage all of you guys to do, because it's important to have boundaries. And now, the fourth and final thing is, and probably the most important thing, which links in with all of these, is not being honest with yourself and others. When you're not honest with yourself, how you feel in certain situations, you can invite all these things such as rejection, being a people pleaser, and not setting personal boundaries. I bet you guys watching now, you can remember the amount of times where you've been in a situation where someone has done something to you and you didn't feel good about it, but at that time you sort of thought to yourself, I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to be the bigger person, or I don't want to say anything because I don't want to rock the boat. And then after that situation, later on when this situation is finished, you say to yourself, oh man, I wish I said something now. And then afterwards, it's just going through your mind constantly. I wish I said something. Oh, why didn't you say anything? I wish I'm not good enough, and that. And this is the important thing about being honest with yourself. If someone says something to you or does something to you, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to reflect on yourself and say, does this make me feel unhappy? Does this make me feel uncomfortable? And if it does, you need to be honest with yourself. And especially in that situation, you need to be honest with that other person. If they do something or say something, you need to say it. Whether it might sound disrespectful, it isn't. And that's one of the things I would say to you. It's okay to say no. If someone asks you for something or wants to do something and you don't want to do it, just say no. No is a word in the English dictionary, guys, and you can say it. You don't always have to say yes. If you don't like something, just say no. I'm not comfortable doing that, or sorry guys, I'm not feeling it, you know. No is a very healthy thing to say, especially when you feel like you're not able, you don't want to do that, you don't want to do something. And also I would say as well, standing up for yourself doesn't make you rude, it makes you brave. A lot of us think when someone does something to us that if we was to speak up, whether it is in a relationship or with colleagues or friends or family, that if we say something it's rude. It depends what it is really, but generally if someone does something bad to you, you stand up for yourself, you say something, they might say to you that you're rude, but at the end of the day, if you're just being honest with yourself how you feel, it might sound rude, yeah, but it doesn't mean it is actually rude, because you're just standing up for yourself. And when you stand up for yourself, you're being brave. Right guys, thank you for watching. That concludes my video. Thank you for watching. Peace out.